Hello, my dear folks. Welcome to the show. Check out on East West with G&E TV. Well, on this show, doing this job, I feel proud of myself more than 1 million times that I have the opportunity, the privilege to meet with people, important people, face to face. And sometimes we come with so close, right next to the grassroots people, and then in between, we just stretch our focus to all kinds of people at all levels, from all angles, from all walks of life, to make a point. Sometimes the point is so confusing to politicians, yet to regular people, to average Americans, average Joes and the Sues, they're quite simple. So I don't know if we try to complicate ourselves for the purpose of making it complicated, or the matter in itself is complicated. So for that, of course, you know what we're talking about. We're talking about the Supreme Court recent decision rule of the same-sex marriage legalization in California, in the United States, including California. You're talking about 30 states already legalized. So that being the trend, I'm so worried. My trepidation is in profusion. That's why I have invited my good friends, Bill Young, and his lovely wife, Jennifer Young, to the show to talk about it. They are not representing anything, even though Bill Young has a high position as the super senior consultant of Douglas aircraft, and even though Jennifer is an active philanthropic worker for all over Southern California, even some federal levels, we still talk about people on the average level, including me. I'm just a so-so person, right? Let's talk about it. Bill, please.
Yeah.
Should we start with the lady first?
Yes, go please.
Let's do lady first, okay?
Okay.
Okay, our dear lady, my fair lady, okay? Let's speak out. It's time. It's almost time. Maybe it's high time we did something. What's your take as a woman?
Okay.
As a woman who is so bonded in a lovely marriage ever after, what's your comment about the same-sex marriage being legalized? I'm not talking about people getting close to each other. If they are the same sex, I have no problem of that at all. So I'm talking about the legalize the relationship on a piece of paper, lawful paper, to make it law binding. So what's your comment, please?
Okay, for this part, we as mother, father, and we have children, from a family point of view, and of course we don't like it.
You don't like it?
We don't like it. However, there must be reasons for some states they make it legal, right? But the legal points they have, of course, we don't need to talk about it today here. And talk about from a family point of view,
all right,
we would prefer the traditional type of marriage.
Okay.
And we feel strongly that as adults, as parents, as a human being, we have our responsibilities for our the generations, children, and the future, and the descents.
Sure.
And maybe we feel this way, we see this way, but the young generation may not take it. They may feel, your concept is too old.
Okay.
And we don't know whether it's too old, but we just feel strongly it's our adults' responsibilities to lead the society going right, and to be responsible for the future. Our ancestors left the world like this to us. The world is in our hand, and also, in the young generation's hand. And how much tradition could be broken through. This is a real issue. And our young daughter. She
Sabrina.
said, Sabrina,
She's a
yes.
lovely figure. She's the character herself.
She has a very, she had a very interesting.
She's supportive about it, right?
She kind of, she not quite that much. She feels that there are reasons.
There are reasons.
There are
yes.
reasons, but her statement, explanation to me like this: Mom, if you think traditional marriage is one man and one woman, the U.S. Constitution didn't. Many years ago, back to many years ago, is not stated like this. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, from a traditional point of view, my grandma and grandpa should have asked my dad to bring 100 ghosts to their home to request them to allow their daughter to marry my dad. You know.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I said, okay, yeah, this is.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
but now you. So she asked, did my grandparents do that? I said, no, of
All
course.
right. It's a personal opinion that she
Yes.
really stated herself, right?
Yeah, that means in this society, there are different voices.
All right.
People like us, conservative, and would like to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. That's quite a statement. And as a matter of fact, that surprises me that you explained in a very thorough way. And to Bill, please. Bill, I know you're a guy well educated, well traveled. Your life experience is worth a book. Probably we should ask Ken Hammy to write a book for you. That's the whole thing about it, right? So now, putting together, you have 25 years in Shenyang, China, of your life. And you were born here, you're still here, right? So combining all the Eastern, Western, China, U.S., whatever concept together, what is your take on the? Once again, I'm talking about not the sexuality. I'm talking about the legalization.
Yes.
Right. Please. So what's your take?
To me, it's wrong. Now, this is a personal opinion. Marriage, the purpose of a marriage is for a couple to have children. Two people of the same sex cannot have children. So you lose the meaning.
All right. They can do the tube. They can do the what you call.
There's a lot of things that can be done, but they cannot have children normally.
That's not
All right.
normal.
Okay.
And which means you just basically destroyed the meaning of marriage, the reason for the marriage.
All right. Okay.
So
the merit of marriage. All right. Good point.
because with the same-sex couples getting together, this basically means there can be fewer people around, and that's not really good because the way the society grows is that two couples get together who have better education or better thinking.
All right.
And you mix the two together,
I
you
see.
get the child is smarter.
All right. Okay. Let's step down. Let's step one more step down. Just assuming, let's forget the whole thing, right? Now, you look at the population. The population is popularized by two actions. Number one, sexual conduct, purposely for the birth of a child.
Right.
And the accident of sexual conduct, and then we decide to keep the baby, right? So in other words, there is always a certain portion of the population who are result of accident out of contraception.
Yes.
Am I right? So we're talking about that, the same-sex marriage, even though they can adopt a child or somebody else, or they can do in the in the tube, in a lab.
Well,
they can do that. There is no accidental babies to talk about.
Right.
You see what I mean,
Yes,
Jennifer?
that's a good
and that
point,
takes a
yeah.
big chunk of the population.
Right.
Am I right?
And for a population to grow, you've got to have a certain percentage of the population that mixes together and produces smarter kids.
All right.
Who will then push forward the science, technology, and so forth.
I see.
And without that, a society withers and dies. the best example that I have of that is the fact that the Latin language is no longer used in the world.
I see. I see.
And yet it was used very strongly in the Roman days.
Mm-hmm.
Today, it no longer exists.
I see.
Rome's power is gone.
So also back to her point, the tradition, right?
Right.
How much of the tradition can be carried? How much are killed? And she says that aborted, right? So we're talking about posterity.
Right.
How about in the future? What can we face them, right? And that kind of thing.
Well, my worry is the society in general loses this grab for the future.
All right.
And the language is just a piece of it. But the society will die if it doesn't get stronger.
All right.
You the Anglo-Saxons in Great Britain died because they didn't grow. And part of that reason was the Romans captured some.
Yeah.
And the group died out.
Okay.
You've got the Gauls in France that died out. And you've got a number of things in history that have died out
I see.
because they weren't strong enough to